Today I'm with Strawberry Dreams, who's cosplaying as.
Ooh, so I'm not actually wearing a cosplay right now. This is just a Lolita cord that I put together. So the
It
dress is
looks
souffle
like
song.
cosplay.
Oh yeah, Lolita can, blend into the cosplay community great, and I've done definitely Lolita versions of
Mm-hmm.
characters. So that's always fun. But this is more of like my Instagram name, Strawbunny. So it's a Lolita cord with strawberry prints and the bunny ears.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, how did you discover cosplaying?
So I was in high school, as a lot of people start out middle school, high school. You
Mm-hmm.
get into anime, gaming, and my friends were really into it. And one Halloween, they were like, "Hey, there's a hobby where you can dress up like Halloween every single day." And so I kind of got dragged into it. As with most people, I didn't start making my own stuff until I was a junior in high school, and before that, I just like bought my stuff or thrifted it, which is totally valid, closet cosplay. Um, so I definitely learned about it in high school, which is about the time most people learn about it.
Nice. Yeah. So, what was your official first cosplay then?
Oof, I did Weiss Schnee, her Volume 2 outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I just bought the jacket and then I fabric painted the glyph on the back.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So, are you working on some cosplays now?
Yeah, I'm working on Sweetheart Zaya. Again, if Katsucon is up and running, that's what I will be wearing. I'm also working on Lilia's Spirit Blossom, but Zaya is definitely more along in that
Nice.
aspect, but I always have one or two projects going. I get bored of a project. This is a bad habit. This is why a lot of my stuff doesn't get finished, but I get bored of doing one thing. So I usually have two or three on the back burner.
Yeah, it makes sense with all this whole COVID thing.
Oh, also,
How are you like adjusting to that?
oh, oof. It's been a rough time. Another thing is like ordering materials or ordering like wigs. Um, it's been rough because you don't get things. You'll get to a point in the making and crafting process and you need like more warble or more foam, but you can't go out and get it. And you're, it won't ship for like a month or something. So there's that weird gap of time where you're not doing anything. And definitely that has not been great because
Yeah.
you're not productive. I think COVID in general has been really rough. I mean, for me, for like my mental health, but I think overall for like a lot of people, it's been not a good time.
So, were you
Yeah.
able to keep your job during COVID?
So I'm lucky that I do still have a job. I work as a receptionist actually at
Oh,
a
nice.
studio,
At a what?
at a yoga studio. So I
Yoga,
work.
huh? Nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. So, have you ever been in a cosplay contest?
I have not. I really want to. I don't. Okay, this is going to sound horrible, and I know people are like, don't say that, but I've never felt confident in my abilities to
Mm-hmm.
enter. And I know probably people watching are like, no, just do it.
Yeah.
And I will. I will, like, definitely do that. I did enter a virtual, like, Instagram one, but didn't get very far with that. But, it was still nice to, like, at least try.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta try. I do want to do one in person, like participate in a masquerade at
Yeah.
some point,
Yeah,
you know.
because with all the whole pandemic and everything and
Oh
the
yeah.
rules and everything, I don't know how it is for you, but in Arizona, we're, there's no conventions whatsoever for until next year. And even then, they don't know what the future of conventions are. So,
Yeah.
maybe they will be going virtual, but I think that the virtual cons, they didn't have a lot of success with them. So I don't think they want to do those again. Because, with virtual cons, people just don't go to conventions for the artwork or the props that they can buy. They go for the cosplayers to look at them and take pictures and everything like that. So a lot of cosplayers are struggling because they don't get to dress up, they don't get to go out and hang out with their friends. So with that, you know, what's your advice for the pandemic? Like how to get through it?
Hmm. Well, I mean, above all, prioritize caution and your like own safety. I've found what's been really good is having, okay, I suck at Instagram's algorithm and posting on time and stuff, but what has really helped is doing like work in progress photos, or I'm gonna wear this today, even if it's just like a Lolita cord, and take some pictures and get into that mentality of dressing yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess at the end of the day, it is something you enjoy. It's a
Yeah.
hobby. It's fun, and even if you don't have that convention to go to show off your work, if even if you're just showing it off to strangers on the internet, it's that same kind of joy I find it brings me. Again, might be different for other people, but if you just kind of practice it and get into the motions of still dressing up, or you know, having your own mini photo shoot in your home with your
Right.
family. Um, I've found that's good, and if it is safe for you or you've bubbled with your friends, you can have like a little event. I bubbled with my friends, so we every 2 weeks, because of the incubation period, we
Mm-hmm.
meet up and we get all dressed up and we have like a little tea and we hang out, and it's one of those things that like keeps you going, keeps it fun, something to look forward to, and then you don't lose that inspiration.
Yeah,
You gotta show
exactly.
off to your friends, like
Yeah, you got to show off to your friends. It's the number one thing to of cosplaying, right?
yeah.
So, you said you're getting more into making your cosplays now. Do you prefer
Yeah.
sewing, armor making, or wig working?
So I prefer sewing. I've always been more of a seamstress. I've recently started doing foam work, but my forte is definitely sewing.
Yeah,
So I've been doing that for like 4 years now.
nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like a lot of people like to say, oh, I'm just starting out. I'm not that popular. And like, what advice would you give the oncoming cosplayer?
Oh, I love like baby cosplayers. I love them so much. Definitely like because I consider myself to be in the middle, like that sweet middle spot where I'm like definitely room to grow, but I've done the stupid things for cosplay. I have definitely spent way too much money. I have failed. I have wasted material. I have done that. So my advice is, you know, okay, everyone will give this. Don't con crunch. I do it. Don't do that. You will burn yourself out. But
Right.
that keep trying, keep going. Don't be afraid to be ambitious. I think that is something I've learned.
Yeah.
Like, and I've noticed that like I have a couple friends that are like just leaving high school, I guess, that I met in high school, and they were
Mhm.
really nervous to do big builds like the diamonds from like Steven Universe or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, go for it. The worst that happens is you learn something, right? And I know how disappointing it is for something not to come together, but you do learn a lot. And I know that's really, really cheesy that like, ooh, from failure you can, you get learn some stuff. But
No, I think that's the best advice. Practice makes perfect.
oh no, no, no! I never say that. Practice makes decent. That is something I learned from one of my
Oh yeah,
friends.
because you never think your cosplay's perfect.
No, you can't. If
You
you aim
can't.
for perfection, you're going to let
Yeah.
yourself down. At least that's how I think. So if you just keep at it, you're going to get better. And the only way you see that is by looking back at your own stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
I fall into that toxic trap of comparing myself to like pro people or people that made this their profession. And yes, it's great. Their stuff is amazing, and then I should not do that. So that's another thing. Don't do that. Just look at yourself compared to
Yeah.
you. Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that because they look for a mentor of some sort and they want to be like that cosplayer and a lot of people lose the balance of who they are, as a person. Speaking of which, a lot of cosplayers like to push the envelope, so to speak, with the sexuality of cosplay or sexualization of characters. What's your opinion about that?
I think if it makes you happy and you're confident doing it, then do it. And that being said, that in no way invites inappropriate things from people's followers or strangers. But
Yeah.
if you want to do it, go for it. You're happy. You worked hard on this, then rock it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not someone to tell you not to. Like, personally, I would want to get more into that, but I just haven't. Since I started in high school, a lot of the people that have been following me have like saw me kind of like grow up and grow through it. So, and also
Nice.
because I dress like very young. I mean, I still am pretty young. I know that it's like. Sorry, I'm a little ADHD, but
No, it's
it's like
okay. I think every cosplayer is a little ADHD.
everyone has ADHD. Oh my god. Um, it's like Disney Channel, you know?
Hmm.
Like, so I got to rebrand at some point, but right now I
Yeah.
am fine. I'm happy with this. I think, like, I will evolve my stuff when it's appropriate to me, and I feel more comfortable being a little more modest, and that's totally
Yeah.
fine for me.
No,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Because, the saying goes, if you've got it, flaunt it. You know,
if
however
you
you want to flaunt it, you do you, type
exactly,
of thing.
if you want to.
Yeah, but be wary of the consequences of your actions, because there are every type of individual out there that's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
I think that's the biggest point on that one. So when you do your photo shoots, do you like to go on location or are you more of a green screen type of cosplayer?
I like to go places. I love locations. I love the outdoors. If I can,
Yeah.
I do a lot of my like Lolita ones. I always take outside near gardens. Um, on my Instagram, like way way back, I did Weiss's Volume 4 outfit, and I got some great snowy shots. It was so cold. It was, ooh, I think it was like 10 degrees outside,
That's
but they
that's
look great.
brave. That's
I
brave.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So when
Nice.
I can, I like to find a scenery that matches the character or kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, sometimes that's difficult, but you know, you do
Makes
your
sense.
best.
Yeah. So is there a type of character that you like to cosplay frequently?
Oh boy. Fire Emblem characters
Mm-hmm.
and now League of Legends are what I'm doing the most.
Hence
And
the
then,
Lolita.
yes, Lolita, alternate fashion, do that.
Yeah.
Um, but as for characters, a lot of them from Fire Emblem and League of Legends, and then
So,
Ruby.
so mostly your cosplays consist of anime characters, correct? And game characters?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yup.
Very nice. So, what's the most detailed cosplay you've done?
Ooh. Detailed would probably have to be the Star Guardian Zaya that I did for Katsu of last year. So Katsu 2019 or 2020. Ooh,
Hmm.
whoa, that's whack. Yeah, this year, but it was the last one. Cause that one I worked with foam in ways that I hadn't worked with foam.
Nice.
I had to make ears for the first time. Never done that before. I had to make gloves. I had to make like knee highs, which definitely took me like way outside of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to make like the bird feet. I had to make the little gem. It was definitely like
Wow.
a lot of different things, and there were so many little pieces where every time I would make something, I'd realize I still had so much left to do. I mean, in a good way, but also was like daunting and how many different steps there were. But I think as
Yeah.
for like little pieces that had to fit together, that one is the most intricate that I've had to do recently. Before that, though, it would have been Default Robin from Fire Emblem because
Nice.
that cloak is a monster.
It is. It is. Yeah. So the myth is the older you get, the more your cosplays become more elaborate. Um, and in a sense, yes, only for the fact that the older you get, the more money you get.
Oh yeah,
Supposedly, supposedly, because yeah,
supposedly,
of
yeah.
course, when
So,
you're 18, you get that job. Supposedly, as you get older, you're gonna promote in that job, and
oh yeah,
or find something better. Or the more money you have, the less time you have. You know, so it's good to be in that sweet spot where you're young, but you're not too old, you're not too young. You're in that sweet stage. But what type of craftsmanship tips could you offer to the new cosplayer?
Mm, um, some of them are just like common sense, like
Measure
don't.
twice, cut once.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that one's just
That's a duh.
self-explanatory. But
Yeah.
like little things, like ironing. I It's gonna sound crazy. I've been sewing for several years, but I've only just started realizing how important ironing is.
Hmm.
Cutting on the bias. Little things that you don't realize and then you wear it and it really affects the way things fall and the way it looks.
Yeah.
Um, I only recently got like a heat gun. I'd been heating this is gonna sound crazy. I'd been heating my stuff up in a pan on the stove.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that. I may or may not have ruined a pan, which may or may not have got my mom mad at me. But there are options if you can't afford tools, because I understand
Yeah.
like not being able to afford things and still wanting to like use the right materials. So there are options out there.
Yeah, you
Other
can get a nice heat gun over at Harbor Freight for cheap, pretty much.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Other crafting things, use like the right scissors for things. Don't use your paper scissors for your fabric, vice versa. Um,
Mhm.
Tape out. If you're printing a pattern off the internet, really take the time to line up those sheets, because otherwise you're gonna get warped stuff. I've done that.
Yeah.
Um, and also just be like aware of where you're putting your materials. Like I've stepped on way too many pins. I have burned myself with a hot gun that's been on for hours that I forgot was on.
It's that
Just like,
ADHD kicking in.
oh
And
yeah,
then you're like,
100%.
I forgot that was there. No, it
Yeah.
happens to everybody. Every
Oh
single cosplayer I've talked to has like some sort of like ADHD, depression, anxiety, and I'm like, wow, is this
yeah.
before you started cosplaying or was it after you started cosplaying? Because when you ask a cosplayer, and is your blood, sweat, and tears into this outfit? You're like, yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I've cried over it. I've poked myself. I've bled it.
Oh yeah.
I've sweated over it. Like you said, con crunch. When you're con crunching, it's outrageously scary because you're like, oh my god, I only have like 1 day to finish this dress that I haven't even started on.
Yep. Yep.
So, do you have any favorite cosplayers that you follow?
Oh my god, so many.
What's
Like,
your top three right now?
I mean, big name, Kamui cosplay, Yaya Han, and Kinpatsu. Um,
Nice.
those are like the top. I mean, they're like the best to me. But of course, I like smaller people,
Yeah,
smaller too. Um, but yeah.
yeah. It's always nice to support everybody you can, but on the other hand, it's hard to support all those cosplayers because cosplaying in the recent years has become very popular.
Oh, it's great. I love the community, and I love meeting like new people. I love oh man, I mean, of course, I can't go to conventions now, but I would love going to just meeting people just on the floor, even if I knew nothing about their costume. Like just talking to them, like
Yeah.
still recognize great craftsmanship. You can still recognize passion. It's just fun to talk to people. make lots of cool friends. And the awesome thing is they remember you.
Hmm.
It's really crazy. Like I don't sometimes I can't recognize a person that I've seen at one con. I see them again, they're wearing something completely different, makeup's completely different. They recognize me. It takes me a bit to recognize them. But it's great because like these are people that you see maybe once a year, twice a year, and you can still talk to them like it was yesterday. That's what's
Yeah,
awesome.
it is pretty cool because yeah, there was this one Deadpool that I met over at a convention, and I was Spider Man, and so Deadpool Spider Man thing. So
Yeah.
we did a little funny thing there, and then he was dressed as a League of Legend character.
Nice.
The next con, I'm like, wait, you were the Deadpool. He's like, whoa, how did you recognize me? And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, your voice, it's like very
Uh,
distinctive voice, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like that was a year later. I was like, insane.
yeah.
But what is your worst cosplay horror story
Um,
where
um,
everything went wrong?
oh, like with the costume or just like bad con stories? Because everyone loves a
Sure,
bad con
sure,
story.
bad con stories. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Um,
I think everybody
so
has one of those.
everyone has those. I've got many, which is not good. Like you shouldn't have them, but everyone does. Um, ooh. Okay, bad costume though is my first year ever like of costume. My first year ever at AX and I was 16
Mhm.
and I was cosplaying Gajinka Skitty. And
Mhm.
this is before I really knew how to sew, so I had in the classic way hot glued everything together.
Fun.
And the little styrofoam balls of the little tail kept falling off and bouncing around the floor of the con. So I would be running around chasing them. Not a good time. So that's like
Yeah.
wardrobe malfunction bad.
Wardrobe malfunction time. Yep.
um as for like bad con experience stories, also at AX, wow, was when I was 17. I did Spring Lucina
Hmm.
because that Spring Banner had just dropped that previous um 2 months or something. Yeah, 2 months.
Hmm.
And I love Lucina. So I made the whole little like bunny suit and I made her
Nice.
egg and stuff. And I got called people's waifus so many times, and there was a lot of weird grabbing, and it was not
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
I was a minor, so that makes it even worse.
Yeah. You're like, dude, I'm 17, and
Yeah,
people like, okay.
yeah, there was like, the classic kind of like overly friendly photographer who's like, oh, you should do like sexy photo shoots, and like, have you thought about this? And I was like, I'm a child.
Yeah. Don't you hate those creeps though? Honestly, like, dude,
Ugh,
it's like, ugh, don't creep at a con, man.
yeah,
Just
it's just
gives you
like,
the heebie-jeebies.
yeah,
That's I think that's the worst thing about just cosplay sometimes is like the creeps that you meet.
yeah,
It's like there's a campaign that was released like a while back ago, cosplay doesn't equal consent,
yeah.
and it's sad that as a community we have to like tell people this is like, hey, don't go up to a cosplayer, don't grab their butt, don't grab them by the waist unless you ask them and they warrant that stuff, okay? It's like you have to ask them for their consent. It's like, hey, can I pose with the picture? I want to pose like with me, like putting my hand on the shoulder or some doing something that the character does, whatever, and then it's okay.
Oh
But
yeah.
but the good thing is the new campaign is it doesn't matter how tall you are or how short you are, doesn't matter how skinny or fat you are, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or boy, you can cosplay. And everybody's a cosplayer, basically.
Oh yeah.
And that's cool that we have that going for us. And so, have you ever worn your cosplay out in public and gotten those weird
Yes. I have
looks?
gone to class. I have
Class,
gone to
nice.
a cosplay, not on Halloween, just normal day, because
Why not?
I why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I spent money on the materials, I spent time making it, I should wear it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people like I knew somebody who did that for their high school and the teacher sent them home saying it was distracting.
God. Oh dear.
I was
Oh
like, well, so what? People are
yeah.
always like, "Oh my god, I love your cosplay. That's amazing. That's amazing." And the teacher's like, "Dude, I'm trying to teach. You're disrupting my class." I was like, "Oh,
I
dang. All right." You know. But yeah, I think more and more people are going out of their shells and starting to get into cosplay, and it's good. That it's no longer the geek culture. You're young, and I'm old. I'm 39 this
old.
October, and whereas I remember cosplay as you had to look like the exact character so that you can be asked to be at the movie premieres of like Transformers or the movie premiere for Batman or the movie premiere for whatever. They had cosplayers doing that. And conventions were really for the nerds. They were like, okay, those are the geeks. They're the crazy ones. Stay away from them. And now it's like so welcomed, and people are turning their own twists on a character. Like, you know, I saw a Deadpool slash nurse. So many different renditions of characters. I was a Todoroki Slytherin because I had a Todoroki wig and a Slytherin outfit. So I'm like, yeah, Todoroki. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Crossovers are great.
yeah. Crossovers. But what is your funniest cosplay story?
Funniest?
Where you guys just laughed and had fun?
I don't know.
Did you have a lot of funny moments? No,
Really funny, no.
no, just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think of like that's been comedic.
no,
I'm so
no.
I feel like
No one's come up to you like as a different character and like did a scene with you from the.
oh, not really. I mean, when I was Weiss at New York Comic Con, I had a winter come up and she was like, "Does father know where you are?" And I was like, "What?" I like actually had like a mini panic attack where I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I was like, "Okay." You were like, "Okay, I got." But I
Yeah.
don't know if that's like super comedic, but it was one of those moments where I was like, "Wait, oh yeah, there is the play aspect of this." Sometimes you kind of forget that. That is part of the fun though, so you can act.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah.
So when thrown at you without expecting you to act, you're just like, hold up, wait.
Yeah, when it's like you're not you're supposed to be in character the whole
You're
time.
character 24/7. You have
You
to.
have to be in character no matter what. That's the good thing about conventions, and that's why a lot of people miss them and due to this pandemic. So what do you think is the future of cosplay? Due to the pandemic and everything.
I think there's like a good side and a bad side to all of this. The good being that it has opened the door to so much virtual options. Like I
Hmm.
know people are streaming more, people are putting out more tutorials, more um, just like even chatting with people. People are having like virtual conventions, virtual hangouts. And I think that's great. I think the community is growing in that way that people can stay connected to cosplayers they like or just friends. So in that regard, it's awesome.
Nice.
In the sense that I feel like we've lost a something. I think that's definitely true. We've lost this, yeah, the physicality of it, the ability to see the LEDs like light up, to be able to, really admire all the different textiles that you've used, or like see those minute details and like really appreciate how that garment flows when you walk. How maybe you have wings that expand. Maybe you've
Mhm.
got stuff
Right.
that makes noises. Like we don't. You kind of lose that over virtual. There's only so much you can see on a tiny screen.
Right. Right. And plus,
But
also, I think it takes away the illusion of the character when
oh yeah,
you got. you got a plain background behind you,
Yeah.
or it's like whatever, and you're like, oh man, I wish I was at like a convention where they have this cool backdrop, where
Oh,
like where
yeah.
it's so much fun, or you have like characters coming in the background going, it's so much fun, that's why with this whole cosplay interview stuff, I'm going to be able to um, go to conventions and interview cosplayers at the conventions once they open up again. But unfortunately, with people always refusing to wear masks out in public, or just being a jerk outright, not caring about other people, it's hard to say if we're ever going to go back to that normal convention time. So but we'll see what happens. You never know. So, what is the best in character interaction that you've ever had?
Mm, uh,
Did it involve a child? Did it involve an adult?
hmm. Um, hmm. I don't know. I think one of the best is also when I was doing, oh, the best and the worst. When I was Spring Lucina was I met up with a Spring Camilla,
Okay,
and um we like locked eyes and we were like, yes. And we did not separate for that entire day. We took like a bunch of cute pictures together, and it
nice,
was we also met like someone who was like Spring Crom. That was adorable because they were like, oh, my daughter. So we had like a cute like father daughter.
nice.
I think that was one of the best. It might be considered the best because it was like one of the first times I felt like seriously like a cosplayer, not like somebody who just went to a convention to dress up, but I actually
Exactly.
felt like part of that world.
Yeah,
So maybe that's why it has such good memories for me.
exactly.
No, maybe
No, yeah,
probably.
it's totally true.
Yeah, I feel like another thing for like new people, um, that there's going to be that day where everything clicks and you're like, oh my god, this is it.
Right.
Like actually a cosplayer, and that day feels amazing. And once you get it,
Yeah,
you got
exactly. A lot of people say that that day comes when you dress up in your cosplay, and a lot of people take pictures of you, and you're like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, I am a cosplayer," and then you give them your business card, and you're like, "Hey, make sure you tag me in that," and stuff like that, and they're like, "Heck yeah, dude!" There's so many experiences that you can have with that. So, have you ever cosplayed with a family member?
oh my family member
No.
does
Oh.
not. No,
Exactly.
no,
No. Huh?
no. And only recently have they come around to me. Like being serious about it for a long time was like, oh, that's that silly thing Petra likes to do. Dress up.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. She's a little weird. And oh, recently they're like, oh, because Fabric came to my house the other day, and they're like, my mom's like, oh, what costume are you working on now? And I was like, oh, okay, so now my family's kind of interested in what I do. So
I
that's
think I think family will always support no matter what, and
yeah,
even if
but
you're
it's like,
even if your
oh,
kid's like way out in left field, you're like, yeah, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but hey,
oh no,
you're cool.
yeah,
Keep
exactly.
doing
So you have
you.
fun.
No,
That's
it's just like, it's every dad's fears, like, oh yeah, do what you want, but don't make me see it. I don't want to see it.
uh
If you do anything bad,
no, my parents.
type of thing. It's always how it is. But what about a favorite cosplay photo of yourself? Have you found that great cosplay photo yet?
I really like the ones I got of my Spring Robin. Spring Robin was a design that I did myself, completely original. So that was a
Nice.
fun challenge. And there's some from AX's like little photo booth setups that looked really nice, where everything looks good from the wig to the prop. And so those are some of my favorites. I also really liked the Star Guardian stuff I got from Katsu of this year. Those
Nice.
also turned, and that was just on the little courtyard area in the Gaylord Center.
Cool.
So nothing super formal, but still nice.
So you've purchased things at conventions before?
Oh yeah, I
Mm.
have a large poster collection and a very big. Oh no, my hat fell off. Okay, a very large charm collection as well.
Nice. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So, what are your go-to stores for cosplay material or full-on cosplays?
Okay, so for full-on cosplays, I recommend Mick Costumes. It's a big one. It's pretty good quality. I
Which
really
ones?
like Mick
Oh,
Costumes.
my costumes. Yeah.
And also, Ease Cosplay actually has really good quality stuff. I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice.
Um, so that's for like if you just want to buy the outfit. For materials, Michaels has EVA foam for very cheap. They often have sales and coupons that you can
Yeah.
use. So that's good. Also, if you don't want to support Bezos, go to Michaels. Michaels also does curbside pickups. Um,
Bezos. Oh, you mean Amazon? Okay.
yeah.
I'm like,
Sorry.
what's wrong
I was
with
something
Bezos?
else.
I'm like,
I was
oh,
like,
I'm like, what's
I was thinking something
Bezos?
else,
I'm like
and I was
Amazon.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like
Um,
Amazon.
I use Amazon like anyone else, but if I can try and avoid it, I will. You know,
Okay.
like,
Makes sense. Tell us
ooh,
how you really feel.
oh
uh,
no, that's a whole
that's
talk.
another topic in general.
Another topic, another day where I go into my rant how horrible our system. But no,
Yeah.
um,
No, it's a lot of people like to prefer to buy cosplays versus make them because of the time it takes and everything,
oh
of course. But you like to make your cosplays.
yes, I love making it. I get my fabric from downtown
Nice.
LA. The fashion district has very cheap fabric that you can get that's a very good quality. However, it's closed now because of COVID. So I've been
Of
ordering
course.
things off of Silk Baron. Great.
Silk Baron.
Most
Nice.
yes, I've seen a lot of I am not sponsored at all by these people. But no, I love their fabric. It's gorgeous, beautiful
She's looking
colors.
for a sponsor. There's, people, so I'm just saying. Oh,
No, they
yeah.
do not sponsor me, but I love their stuff. Very fast delivery, very quick. They're a small business. A lot of big name cosplayers use Silk Baron. Actually, the famous strawberry dress was made with Silk Baron
Oh, nice.
silk. So, fun facts. I really like their stuff. It has definitely taken my things to the next level. It adds that nice like dimensionality, that crispness.
Nice.
Every so often you gotta upgrade. I get stuff from the dollar store, from Home Depot, from
Oh, from the
um,
dollar store. Nice.
yes, you can find a lot of fun things there that can be repurposed. That is definitely something I've learned is that ordinary things can be taken apart and made into other stuff if you just
Yeah.
kind of know what shape you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. I found all my Deadpool weaponry from the
Yeah,
dollar store. I was shocked.
yeah,
I was like, wow.
exactly, stuff like that.
But the sad thing is, it's how realistic these toy guns are now.
Oh,
Because my
oh
toy
yeah.
gun that Deadpool has, my cosplay for Deadpool, you rack the gun and it makes a sound, and then you fire it and it sounds like a gunshot. My
Mm,
neighbor actually called the cops
oh my-
because I was playing and like I heard a gunshot. I'm like, yes, here, cops. This is the gun. Don't shoot.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm
Wow.
like, this is scary. So I had to take the batteries out, the audio mechanism. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't
Yeah.
want somebody playing with this gun and another cop comes in my house.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so many things that are realistic in cosplay. And in Phoenix, we had a little scare of somebody bringing an actual gun to a convention back in 2018.
Oh my
And
god.
now the convention center that hosts the conventions, they say you cannot bring any weaponry that looks like a weapon. And
Oh,
so a lot of cosplayers were upset because
yeah.
they have their cosplays and
Yeah.
the props are all about the cosplay and you can't bring them in. Yeah, so it's all about the convention center and everything and
Oh, yeah.
the rules they have and everything. So have you ever done a cosplay panel before?
No, I wanted to, but I've never found anyone I'd want to have one with because I
Yeah,
definitely can't do one by myself, and um, nobody's like asked me to join them. I would obviously be like, sure. But I've
yeah,
had like some ideas of panels I'd want to run. Um,
nice.
like I definitely want to do a panel on inclusion in the cosplay community,
Yeah,
and to do one on D&D, like creating characters, campaign running, maybe even do like a little one shot in that panel, stuff like
nice.
that.
That'd be cool.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully by next year, conventions are back on and we'll be able to go to the conventions and the panels and everything like that again,
Oh yeah.
you know. Because I know in California, there's lots of cosplay conventions, and the Disney ME is the big one for Disney, and the Anaheim Comic Con, and the of course San Diego Comic Con, and
Yep.
whereas
AX.
yeah, AX, yeah, yeah. So what is the ultimate dream cosplay for you?
Oh god, it changes. Um, but one of my like dreams is AX has a mascot,
Mm-hmm.
and one of their mascots is this girl who has like mecha stuff attached to her,
Okay.
and it's weirdly intricate as well as like easy as in like the rest of what she's wearing is not much, but the mecha build and what she has on her like hips are really intricate. And I saw that design back in 2015 and went, oh my god, I want to do that. So that's one of
Nice.
them for like big, I guess, ballroom things.
Yeah.
um One of my dreams would be to do um dancer Renea from Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay.
So beautiful, so many skirts. It's gonna be a challenge, but that is on my list of ones that I really want to do because I love Renea. She's so sweet, and the design is gorgeous. It's just, whew, a lot. It'd be like pushing my like
Right.
sewing ability to the limits, but I mean that's what the fun of it is.
Well,
Fire Emblem
yeah.
definitely had intricate outfits.
Yeah.
And the creators kind of hate cosplayers because where do the seams go? How does the armor attach to your body? I
Right.
don't know. You
You
gotta
got to
make a
figure it
weird
out. You got to make your own
show.
rendition. Yeah.
Oof.
No, it's true because the great thing about this whole COVID thing though is it gives cosplayers more time to think about what they're going to cosplay for the next conventions coming up
Oh,
and everything like that. You know, and I'm sure you have a lot of ideas that you're working on and everything like that. So, have you ever done any character makeup before?
no, not seriously. I don't really like wearing makeup. I wear minimal makeup, so I've never done anything to make me look like more like a character. Um,
Yeah.
or if it is, oh, so sorry. There's like
Yep.
I live
The
near a
cops are,
fire.
cops are coming after you, man.
Oof. Yeah.
No.
Um,
So,
I've never
yeah.
done anything to like.
So no Starfire or no,
Yeah.
no nothing like that. Complete
No, I
body
really
paint.
no, I want to get into it more. But I have not. The only body paint I've done is I did Princess Mononoke, or rather San from Princess Mononoke, of
Yeah.
course, years and years ago, for the same year that I did Weiss, first Weiss one.
Yeah.
Um, so I did, of course, the red triangles,
Nice.
and that, I guess, the last time I ever did face paint of any kind. Otherwise, I just wear normal makeup or like stage makeup or
Yeah.
uh, yeah, like a little bit more normal makeup. Um, that being said, I definitely want to give it a go again. I don't think I do full body paint, but I do the trick with wearing arm sleeves and then just painting my face.
There you go. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I give big credit for those who want to cosplay as Darth Maul.
Oh my god.
It's like, okay,
So
whoa, how do you not touch your face?
I oh god.
Yeah, how do you not touch your face? They're constantly doing this themselves, or yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But in your opinion, what makes a cosplayer a professional cosplayer?
Well, to me, the word professional means you're getting paid for it.
Okay,
Even if that's paying yourself, you own your own business. I still consider that professional. Um, but that would just be if you use the dictionary definition of professional. I think there's a lot of talented people that don't get paid for it and are at that level or just super
yeah,
advanced. So I don't usually say people are professional unless they are marketing themselves, marketing
yeah,
their tutorial books, their, um, you know, patterns or whatever.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
otherwise, I just think they're at that level, but I wouldn't say they're professional. I don't know. I feel like that's such like a delicate word, you
No,
know.
yeah, yeah, it's true.
I'm like,
You know,
oh, do you want to offend anyone who's like super super good, who's
it's
won
like,
like
dang
titles, but
it!
doesn't? Yeah,
It's like
I am professional.
I'm gonna
No,
throw
no,
my cosplay out the window. No, no,
yeah, yeah.
you dashed my dreams. No, no. People are gonna get offended no matter what.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Bottom line, if you're not making money for this, you can't really say you're a professional. But if
yeah,
you've won something like an award over at like a convention at a masquerade and you're a master's or you're a novice or
yeah,
you're a journeyman, then yeah, you're getting there,
yeah,
The minute I'm agreeing with you. The minute you get asked to come to a convention and sit in a booth, that's professional. You've got there. You got to that level. So what's your favorite part about cosplaying?
probably the people that you meet. That's so cheesy, but it's
No,
true.
it's
The
true.
community, that
It's
is
true.
definitely the best part.
The community. Hmm.
Yeah, and people of all levels, people are really helpful. I've noticed that when I've like
Yeah.
DM'd people, hey, we're working on the same project at the same time. This is how I'm doing it. How are you doing it?
Yeah.
And just getting those tips and bouncing ideas off of other people is great.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I hear horror stories of how toxic things are, and I'm
Hmm.
blessed to have never experienced something like that.
Yeah.
And I just horrible that people do, but I mean, I think it's great that most of the time people want to share their ideas and share their successes and warn against failures. And that really helps like everyone grow.
Yeah.
I do like that oftentimes it isn't a competition unless you enter a competition, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's not a competition between people. It's a whole learning
Yeah.
experience for everyone, which is what I really like. So definitely my favorite part about it is the community.
Yeah. There's a cosplayer that I met, Kara Nicole, and Kara, she ran for office. She was a cosplayer. She gets asked to like appear at comic book, events and everything. And she will legit sit down with you and go over every little detail of what cosplaying is and how to get into the business and what to avoid and what to go for and everything. Because to her, it's not a competition. It's getting more and more people she can cosplay with. She's like, "Oh, you're a cosplayer at my level. Nice. Let's do this cool little photo shoot and let's brand each other. Let's help each other out." And yeah, it comes down to like who has the best OnlyFans and who has the best like, con and convention invites. I guess you could say it's a competition in some regard. But like everything, there's an evil side, right? So what are some bad things about cosplaying?
Um, Again, I haven't really experienced anything, ooh, which is great, but I definitely know the reputation of gatekeeping, of um, body shaming, of like racism, and these are things we have to be aware about and call it out. Like, don't let people who have these large followings get away with it. And I think that is something that we kind of forget. I guess this also goes back to the whole consent thing, that at the end of the
Mhm.
day, we're still people, we're still all human. And yes, you're going to make mistakes, but you aren't some idol, you aren't God, you know.
Right.
Um, your actions do have consequences. And so I've definitely seen all the posts about people behaving in inappropriate ways in
Yeah.
regard to those things.
Especially creepy photographers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, being like racist or like,
Yeah.
um, oh, you can't cosplay this because you're not the right body type or whatever. It's like,
I think that comes down to what cosplay used to be like. Um,
I mean,
like
it's still going on though.
yeah. Whereas now we need to look at cosplay as like, hey, this has evolved. Now it doesn't matter if you could be a black Catwoman, you could be a black Spider-Man, you can be a black or Asian Rainbow Bright, whatever. It doesn't matter what skin color you are as long as you're rocking the cosplay, you're cool.
Yeah,
But I think the idealistic thing in the people's brains sometimes is that okay, your cosplay has to match exactly like the
yeah,
movie, comic,
oh
or
yeah,
video game. If it's not, I'm going to judge you harshly. And that's where cosplay can go the wrong way. It's sad that we have to keep reminding people, "Hey, let's have fun. Let's just, relax, have fun, put on a costume and dance around in a circle."
yeah. I think yeah, the worst thing is when people need cosplayers to be canon,
Yeah.
and that is such a toxic thing. It's like unless you were specifically cast as a human in something, you're never going to look like that. You're
Yeah.
not.
No.
A lot of the times these characters are either not even human. A lot of the characters I do aren't even human,
Yeah.
or they're two dimensional, and you can't look like a picture. Like
No, you
you
can't.
can't.
Well,
Sorry.
and there was a website a while back ago. I don't know if it's still around, but they were actually giving you exact comic book dimensions of a character. You would look like a freak. You'd be like 10 feet tall. You'd be skinny like 0 - 1 or something.
Yeah.
And it's unrealistic to be exactly like the character. And it's always fun when you see the cross-platform cosplays. It was like where they have, oh, he's taking a Harry Potter slash Spider-Man vibe to it. Cool.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It's like what it is, as long as you're having fun. Is there anything you'd like to tell your fans that might watch the rebroadcast of the video?
I mean, check out lots of different people. I like to scroll through just the Instagram Discover, and just I'll stumble upon people that I've never seen before, but I love their stuff and I'll follow them. Just like check it out, like find new people. As for just like life advice, keep your head up. I mean, it's a tough time, and we're all struggling. We're all not having a good time. Like if you're having a good time, I don't know, made of steel or something, but keep your head up, be positive.
Right.
Do good mental health things for yourself. Take a walk,
Yeah.
eat your fruits and veggies, that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
we'll all get through it.
Nice. Well, thanks again for coming on to the
Of
show. I
course.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And good luck on your future cosplays. And I hope I hope for the benefit of all cosplayers, we get back to conventions and we get to have fun and run up to people and be like, "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Oh, that's always fun.
And it's so much fun. Thank you again for coming on to the show. Take care
Thank
of
you.
yourself and have yourself a very nice Saturday.
You too.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
take care.